Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm going to be breaking on UFC Vegas 103 for you guys. We're back in the Apex after last week. We were at UFC Seattle. We had one of the best cards we've seen in a long time. So many finishes last week. I really enjoyed the card. We had a lot of fun on the live stream. So make sure you guys come hang out with me in the live stream. I go live for every UFC event every week. So make sure you guys turn the notifications on. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. I make a lot of content for UFC every week. I mean, I cover other organizations too, like ONE FC. Sometimes I cover LFA sometimes. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. And let's break down this card, man. It's not a bad, not a terrible Apex card. Let's be honest. I mean, there's actually some pretty good matchups on this card. Let's take a look at this card. Not bad. We got Manol Cap taking on Asu Almabayev. Almabayev's taking this fight on short notice. Manel Cap was scheduled to take on Brendan Royval here, top contender Royval. Now he's going to be fighting Almabayev. I mean, Almabayev's probably been ready for this opportunity. And we also got Cody Brundage taking on Julian Marquez in the co-main win. I mean, I'm not really sure why this is the co-main. Maybe they should have probably done Haqparast versus Ribovics as the co-main. That would, in my opinion, that makes more sense having that one as a co-main than this one right here. We got Austin Lane welcoming the newly signed prospect of the White Contender Series, Mario Pinto. I'm excited to see this guy Mario Pinto, man. He's actually an exciting prospect. And we got Hyder Amil. We made money on Hyder Amil last time. He's fighting William Gomis. Not really one of my favorite fighters, William Gomis. I don't really like his fighting style, but the guy's really good at what he does. So we'll see how that one turns off for Hyder Mill and William Gomis. We got Danny Barlow, left hand to God, taking on Sam Patterson. That should be fun. We got Ricardo Ramos taking Kape Mariscal. So not honestly not a terrible card. There's some pretty decent matchups on this card. We got Douglas De Silva, the Andrade taking on John Sexy Mexi Castañeda. That should be fun matchup there. We got Andrea KGB Lee taking on JJ Aldrich. This is a rematch. I'm not really sure why this rematch is happening. Maybe this is just a retirement fight for Andrea Lee. We got Danny Silva. He's one of he's a guy from Cub Swanson's team. He trains over there with Cub Swanson. He's fighting Lucas Almeida. Lucas Almeida coming off a pretty impressive win over Timothy Kwamba. So we'll see how that one goes for Lucas Almeida. Montella de la Rosa taking on Luana Carolina. That should be fun right there. Let's start with the first fight, guys. We got Charles Energy Johnson taking on Ramazan Temirov. Man, this is going to be a pretty good matchup. I mean, we got striker versus striker matchup. Even though Charles Johnson has a wrestling background, he doesn't really wrestle all that much. He's lost a few fights early on. He lost a couple of fights because he's getting taken on. Really didn't have any takedown defense a couple of fights ago, but it seems like he's really turned the corner now. He has pretty good durability. He's fighting Ramazan Temirov. Not really sure why they're making this matchup. Johnson should be, I think he is ranked in top 15. I guess they need some new blood in the top 15. That's probably why they made this matchup. But Johnson is one of the most active flyweights out there, maybe other than Joshua Wen. The guy fights like every couple of months. And I like seeing guys active, man. He's making money, he's cashing in. And he's taking Ramazan Temirov, who's coming off that win over Cesar Vergara, where he absolutely brutalized Cesar Vergara. I mean, he just put it on him in the first round. Vergara really didn't have anything for him. He wasn't really returning any fire, so he couldn't really get respect from Ramazan Temirov. The guy has big power. He's got like 18 wins all in the first round or something like that. It's absolutely crazy, man. The guy's an absolute marauder. He's got 11 wins in the first round by KO, TKO, and hardly ever goes the distance. I mean, he's on a 10-5 win streak right now. I mean, the guy is looking really good. But this is definitely going to be one of his toughest matchups in his career, right? He's not fighting Cesar Vergara right here. Charles Johnson can strike. He's got cardio. He's pretty tough. His takedown defense has gotten better. We have seen Charles Johnson in trouble in that Maxum fight. He was dropped by Maxum early, almost finished by Maxum. But he was able to recover, come back in the second on, and showed how much of a veteran that he is, right? He came back, won the second and almost finished Maxum in the third round with a ninja choke. I don't know why he let the ninja choke go because he could have finished him there. Maxum almost went to sleep with the ninja choke. So Johnson's gonna have the better durability here. I mean, he's gonna have better durability than Cesar Vergara. Vergara is really mid. Johnson has faced the better opponents in the UFC. Ramazan is going to be live for a KO man early, like 100%. So this is probably a better live betting spot on Charles Johnson if you can weather the storm early. Because I know Temirov, the way he fights, man, he's gonna come out hot. He's gonna be out there swinging for the fences. I mean, he's gonna look to take his head off early on, and maybe sprinkle Ramazan Tamirov by first round KO. I'm probably gonna look at those round one, round two. But Johnson hasn't been finished by anyone. I mean, the guy's tough, has faced a much better opponents. Even outside the UFC, I mean, he faced Roy Ball. Roy Ball couldn't really get him out of there. So the guy's tested. And at plus money, I gotta go with Charles Johnson. Is there a chance Ramazan can put him out? He can be the first one. I mean, maybe he has really good striking. I mean, he sets everything up. He's not really just throwing and hoping. But if he has you hurt, man, the guy just gonna fucking crawl. He's just gonna like put it on you. I mean, he's not really gonna let you off the hook. So Johnson has to be really, really, really careful early because Tamirov is a dynamic striker. He can throw spinning back kicks to the body. He can throw high kicks. I mean, he's not really the biggest guy for the weight class. He's only 5'4", whereas Johnson's gonna be 5'9". Johnson's gonna have a big reach advantage over him. So I like that for Johnson. He's plus money. So I'm gonna take Johnson at plus money. Not sure if I want to bet this pre-fight because I know the first one's gonna be really scary for Johnson. But Johnson is really tough, so I'm gonna pick Johnson by decision. I think he can land more volume, frustrate him in the second, third round. Not really sure what kind of cardio Tamirov has. Maybe Tamirov can level change, take him down. That's gonna be a path to victory for Tamirov if he doesn't like the way the striking is going. But I'm gonna go Johnson by decision here in the first one. Um, the odds are for Johnson coming in at plus 105 right now, and Tamira coming in at minus 125. It should be probably pick him because Tamirov does have big power. He's on a 10-5 win streak right now, but hasn't really faced the best opponents outside the UFC. We know where we're getting with Charles Johnson. I'm gonna pick Johnson. Let's go. Next fight on the card is Montana De La Rosa taking on Luana Carolina. This should be a pretty fun matchup. I mean, Montana's like her record's like 500. I mean, 50-50. She's almost close to tying in that. She's only a few losses away from tying 13-13 and 1 record. Montana's a good wrestler. She can go for takedowns. Her striking is not really all that good. Luana Carolina used to struggle with girls that could take her down before, but since these trains over there at Lucas Monero gym, we just seen a lot of these guys come look pretty good over there from that team over Lucas Monero. He's also a former UFC fighter. If you guys been watching UFC for over 10 years, you guys probably know who I'm talking about, Lucas Monero. He also fought in Karate Combat few months ago, I think it was. So it's gonna be, let's see how Luna Carolina looks. We've been betting on Luna Carolina in the past few fights. We got her plus money over Puilova, who's fighting in Octagon now. Is not really a UFC fighter anymore. I feel like Luana Carolina can stuff takedowns here. She's gonna be far more busier on the feet. She's gonna be throwing more volume, and her takedown defense has gotten better. She was able to defend takedowns against Lupita Godinez, who has okay wrestling. She can wrestle, go for takedowns. Montana's staying nasty on top. If she can get takedowns, she'll actually like posture up, throw ground and pound elbows. We've seen her finish girls like Lipsky back in the day with elbows, ground and pound. I do feel like Lorna's gonna be able to keep this on the feed and just throw more kicks, leg kicks, body kicks, and I think she's gonna be able to outland Montana De La Rosa. So I'm gonna go with the Luana Carolina. I like that how busy she is on the feed. Montana's gonna need takedowns to win, and I do think Luana Carolina's takedown defense has gotten better. She used to struggle with girls that could take her down before, but I do trust her takedown defense now. So I'm gonna go with Carolina. Luana Carolina coming in at minus 135. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Carolina. I think she can win this one. Next fight I think it goes over 4.5 rounds. Yeah, that's an easy smash over 4.5 rounds. They're not finishing each other. Next fight on the card is Danny Silva taking on Lucas Almeida. Man, this is gonna be a pretty good matchup. Danny Silva trains over there with Cub Swanson and that team over there. He was scheduled to fight someone. Who was he scheduled to fight? I think he had a fight coming up. like a few months ago, but he ended up pulling out. I'm not really sure what happened. He was scheduled. Who was he scheduled to fight? Let me see if I can find it here. Give me a second, guys. I know he had a fight coming up. Then he ended up pulling out from the matchup. He was supposed to fight Dennis Bajukia. Okay, it was Dennis Bajukia. Now he's taking on Almeida. Almeida is a good striker, has power on the feet. He's a brawler mostly. He struggled with guys that can take him down. Like Pat Sabatini took him down, stopped him right away. He really didn't have any success in that fight. But Sabatini's got really good wrestling and control. He's actually a dangerous submission artist. That's not really the worst look ever for Almeida. Then he fought Andre Fili. Got knocked out in the first round by Andre Fili. Not really the best look because Andre Fili hasn't looked good in a while. He fought Timothy Kwamba. Looked better against Timmy Kwamba. He actually had some knockdowns over Timothy Kwamba. Timothy Kwamba is not really sure how good Timothy Kwamba is. I don't feel like he's gonna drop Danny Silva. Danny Silva has a really good chin on him, and the guy's a good striker. And I think him training over there with Cup Swans and those guys, he's gonna be ready for this opportunity. And I am gonna go with Danny Silva. He almost finished Pacheco on Dana White Contender Series. Should have finished him the first round. He almost did. But Pacheco's really tough, man. I know that much. I did an interview with Pacheco on my YouTube channel. You guys probably can look back and watch that one back. But yeah, Pacheco's really tough, man. He almost put him away early. So the guy has power, and I think he's gonna be in Lucas Almeida's face. He's gonna be in his face. He's gonna be throwing. He's not gonna back down from Almeida. Maybe Almeida can crack him, but I trust Danny Silva's chin. I think his chin's really good, and I trust durability. And then he can also mix in takedowns. He was mixing in takedowns over Josh Kulibao. We actually picked him as a plus 165 underdog in that spot over Kulibao. And he was able to land shots on the feet, keep it pretty competitive on the feet. And he was able to, and he digs to the body, which I really like. He's going to be mixing up his strikes to the body and the head. And I also think he's going to be able to mix in takedowns. I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to control Almeida on the ground. Almeida has been working on that takedown defense, but I feel like Danny Silva should be able to put it all together. He's going to have Cup Swans in his corner. They're going to have really good game plan for him. So I'm going to take Danny Silva. Let's see what the lines for Danny Silva is. So minus 180. He actually opened up at even money. I would have bet him at even money. I think Danny Silva's going to win, man. I do trust him, man. I do trust him here. Over 1.5 rounds, minus 265. I think he goes over. It's kind of dangerous, though. Almeida does leave his chin up in the air, so Danny Silva's going to have a chance to crack that chin maybe early. But if I had to pick a side, I'm gonna lean towards the over 1.5 rounds. But I am gonna go with Danny Silva money line. I think it's a pretty good spot here for Danny Silva. Let's move on, guys. Next fight on the card is going to be Andrea KGB Lee taking on JJ Aldrich. This is a rematch, guys. If you guys didn't know, this is actually a rematch. They fought a couple of years ago, and Andrea Lee's a striker, mostly a kickboxer. She struggles with girls. I can mix it up, take her down, and not really let her play her own game. She's getting up there, man. She's lost like so many fights in a row. How many fights has she lost in a row? A lot. I think she lost like 6 fights in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She lost 5 fights in a row. I mean, half of those are honestly, a couple of those fights could have gone either way. Like that Macy Barber fight, she could have won that fight. I think she was actually taking down Macy Barber in that fight, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously Natalia Silva beat her, but Natalia Silva's gonna be fighting for the belt. And Natalia Silva's fighting Grasso soon. That's honestly not even a bad look anymore. She fought Miranda Maverick. Maverick was able to take her down, obviously, mix it up. Then she fought Montana De La Rosa. She looked terrible in the Montana De La Rosa fight. She was getting taken down. And I do feel like JJ can take her down. JJ just doesn't really have the best fight IQ, let's be honest. But rematch is a rematch. I usually pick the first fighter that wins the first fight and the rematch. We picked Hernandez. We picked EDP. I mean, we bet both of them. And they win like 70% of the time since 2010 in the UFC. That's what the stats say. So I'm gonna pick JJ. I think this is a pretty good bounce back spot for JJ Aldrich here. Not sure if I'll bet her. I don't really trust her at chalk, but JJ's pretty good. I mean, if she can bring up good game plan, she can win, man. She's actually beating up Blanchfield before she got caught up in that submission. She was actually dominating Erin Blanchfield. Then she put her head in that guillotine and got subbed. I'm gonna pick JJ Aldrich to win the rematch, and Let's see what the odds are. It could be close. I mean, JJ doesn't really fight. He doesn't really like dominate anyone. I mean, I don't think he's finishing KGB Lee. I mean, I don't think he's finishing her. So probably take the over 2.5 rounds in a parlay if you guys want to take that in a parlay to juice up one of your parlays. Over 2.5 rounds minus 450. I think it goes over. No, that's the other one. Let me see. Minus 170 for minus 195 for Aldrich. Over 2.5 rounds minus 550. I think it goes over. I mean, that's the pretty chalky over though. I do favor it going over 2.5 rounds. Let's move on, guys. Next fight on the card is Douglas de Silva, the Andrade taking on John Castañeda. Sexy Maxi coming off that loss to Marcos, which is okay, which is forgivable. We did better Marcos there. I've been pretty high on Marcos, man. And you guys probably remember if you guys watch my live streams, we had a crazy parlay plus 18,000 parlay, and the last leg was Marcos over Yanez, and Marcos was able to win that matchup. I mean, good for Marcos. And Marcos is good, man. He was able to go out there completely just outclass Castaneda. Marcos is a good striker, and he has really good takedown defense. I mean, that's what I feel like people sleep on Marcos' takedown defense. And Castaneda couldn't really get any of his takedowns going, and he was getting frustrated on the feet against Marcos, which is okay. Marcos is a really good striker, and he throws knees up the middle, which is catching Castaneda, shooting for trying to close distance on him. Here, Douglas de Silva Andrade is okay. He's a good striker. He has leg kicks and body kicks. But I feel like we're seeing this guy slow down, man. He hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked good in a while. Even the Stamen fight, he was almost finished in the Stamen fight, and not really a good look. Almost getting finished by Stamen, getting rocked by Stamen, who I don't think is a good striker. Has okay wrestling, and he was able to mix in takedowns later. He probably should have gone for takedowns earlier. And I don't think he won that fight, man. I scored that fight for Stamen. I had it 29-28 for Stamen, but Stamen's not even in the UFC anymore, so who cares? For De Silva to win this fight, he's gonna have to stay on the outside and just kick his legs, body kick, mix it up to the body and the legs. But I don't feel like Castaneda is gonna give him that space to work from the outside. I think Castaneda is gonna stay in his face. Castaneda is dangerous, man. I mean, his other loss was to Daniel Santos. If you guys go run that fight back, he almost finished Santos early. He was landing a nasty left high kick, dropped Santos, had him in big trouble. And Santos was able to weather that storm early, and Castaneda gassed out trying to finish him there. So I think if he stays patient, if he doesn't rush for a finish on Andrade and he gasses himself out, I think he's going to be able to win this one. I am going to take Castaneda here. I think he's got a grappling upside. He can wrestle if he needs to. He can also find a submission, but I don't know if he's going to finish this guy. De Silva, the Andrade is really tough to get out of there, but De Silva just doesn't really throw enough output, in my opinion. Like, he doesn't throw enough output. He's actually got they both have negative striking differential. Not really a good sign. But I do like Castaneda's ability to get takedowns and also strike, and I think he's gonna be able to stay in his face and win this one. So I'm gonna pick Castaneda. He's also younger. We're gonna go with Castaneda by I'm not sure if he's gonna finish. Maybe third round finish, maybe, because Andrade is getting up there, almost pushing 40 now at this point. Castaneda is minus 230, minus 269. I think he should be like minus 200. I don't know about minus 260, but he should be like minus 200, honestly. He's still in his prime. Next fight on the card is Ricardo Ramos taking Kape Mariscal. Machine Gun Kape. Let's fucking go, man. Let's go. I'm pumped for this one. So Kape, man, this guy's been he's actually earned his UFC shot, unlike some other guys we've seen make it to the UFC recently. Like, this guy's been fighting anyone the promotion. I mean, he fights anyone they give him. I mean, this guy's never saying no to anyone out there. He fought Steve Garcia outside the UFC, fought Yusuf Jalal outside the UFC, beat Yusuf Jalal. Or I think he did beat Yusuf Jalal there. Let me see if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he did beat Yusuf Jalal back in 2019. He beat Larian Douglas, who's actually really good. I think he's going to be in the UFC soon. Pat Sabatini, I mean, win over Pat Sabatini looks pretty good. And he lost to Bryce Mitchell. So this guy's been fighting guys that are in the UFC. And the guys that have knocked him out was Gregor Gillespie, who's actually, we haven't seen this guy in so long, but he's actually really good. Nah, he probably retired now. And he lost. He got knocked out by Brito. I mean, Brito just it was a vicious versus KO loss that he took in 41st seconds. I mean, he got absolutely starched there. But that's what happens when you fight dangerous guys. You're not taking the easy road to the UFC. You're gonna get some. You're gonna take some losses along the way. But when you do make it to the UFC, you're gonna be ready, and you're gonna be ready. You're not gonna break under the pressure of these guys in the UFC. You're fighting when you're gone through the ringer. And Chepe has gone through the ringer. He's paid his dues. And I'm gonna pick Chepe here. Obviously, I mean he's minus 400. I think it makes sense, man. The guy's not really gonna go away. Ricardo Ramos not really gonna be able to hold him down like he was able to hold on Josh Colibao. And on the feed, man, Ricardo Ramos is a dangerous striker. He's got some power early, but I don't think his fight IQ is all that good. And he's not really gonna be able to hold down Chepe. So Chepe is gonna be able to win this one. I think he's gonna break him later. So I am gonna pick Chepe by I think can lock in a submission or even knock him out on the feed. I'm gonna say submission. I think Chepe can lock in a submission, break him. I can see him like breaking Ricardo Ramos. I'm gonna pick Chepe by submission here. Chepe right now is minus 500. I think he should be able to win this one. I mean the odds are kind of crazy, but I think he should be able to win this one. We're gonna go Chepe to finish this one. Let's move on. Next fight on the card is Danny Barlow, left hand to God, taking on Sam Patterson. Man, Danny Barlow's last fight, that was not really the best look over Vertenikov. It was a close matchup. I mean, he's supposed to actually go out there and completely outclass this guy, Vertenikov, who's actually a decent striker, but really can't defend a takedown. We just seen that recently last week. So that was not really a best look for Danny Barlow. I know he had a hand injury in that in his UFC debut over Quinlan. I think he suffered a hand injury, so not really sure if his hand's fully healed now. Should be by now. I think his hand should be fine by now. Sam Patterson needs to get this fight to the mat, and can he get it to the mat? I don't know if I see it getting Barlow to the mat early. I think he's gonna have to strike with Barlow early, and Barlow has nasty power. And I don't really trust Sam Patterson's chin. He still leaves his chin right up in the air, so that's kind of you gotta be worried about that chin if he's striking with Barlow. His wrestling is okay. I mean, jiu-jitsu is okay. I mean, if he does get Barlow to the mat, maybe he can lock in a submission. But I don't know if I can see him, man. I really can't just see him locking in a submission over Barlow. Like it's one thing locking in a submission over that fraud Kiefer Crosby, who should have never been in the UFC in the first place. Like submitting Johan Lioness, who's terrible Canadian prospect. I mean, another prospect from Canada, terrible guy. I'm glad he got cut off for that one. It's one thing submitting those guys. I mean, but those guys were kind of shooting into the takedowns. I mean, they were kind of giving him takedowns there. I don't think Barlow's stupid like that. I'm gonna pick Barlow by KO in the first round. I think he's gonna put his he's gonna get some hype back. I know people are like shitting on him for even I'm kind of shitting on him for taking Vertenikov to a close decision. But I mean, styles make fights. It is what it is. Barlow right now is minus 300. I'm gonna go Barlow by KO. I think we're gonna see another KO here early. Patterson chin's okay at 170. It's not terrible. At 155, I mean, he got knocked out brutally by that probably that guy from who's that guy's name? I can't remember his name anymore. Was it yeah, you now ask Moose. It was yeah, it was cutting down to 155. That was his UFC debut, and he got knocked out brutally. I mean, that was wishes was just KO. And he's been knocked out before back in 2017, so but he has some okay wins. I mean, outside UFC, win over Kamil Magomedov is not bad, honestly. This dude is not bad. He's actually not a bad fighter. Like the lines shouldn't be this wide, I feel like. But I can just see Barlow catching him early. And Barlow has okay cardio, so I don't think he's gonna gas out. And I don't really trust Patterson's wrestling all that much. Um, he's gonna have to submit him early to get Barlow out of there. Or I can just see Barlow having the more power and landing something big and getting a KO. So we're gonna go Barlow by KO in the first two rounds. Next fight on the card is Amil taking on William Gomis, man. I'm really not the biggest fan of William Gomis. I'll tell you guys right off the rip. William Gomis is a good fighter. I gotta give it to him. I mean, he's one of those French kickboxers. He's got kickboxing like Taylor Lapilas, and his striking defense is really good, man. I mean, the guy barely gets touched, and he makes people miss a lot. So that's what he has to do in this matchup. Also, he can wrestle. He can mix in takedowns. I mean, we have seen him mix in takedowns before when he does get pressured back. He was able to control Brito in the first round, which is not a bad look, honestly. Brito was pressuring him back, and he has really good footwork. I mean, so it's one thing. I mean, knocking out guys like Fernie Garcia, knocking out guys like the Young Lee, whatever his name is. We did pick Hyder Mill in that one as a plus 150 underdog. I think it was plus 160 underdog or something like that. We did make money on him there. It's one thing, like, I mean, knocking out those guys, right? Those guys don't really have the best footwork, like William Gomis. I honestly hope Hyder breaks this guy, man. I really do hope he breaks him. But the more I think about it, man, honestly, like, I think it's gonna be tough, man. I think it's gonna be tough. He's gonna have to catch him with a clean shot. William Gomis doesn't have a. He's not chinny. I don't think William Gomis is chinny. He hasn't really been knocked down. I mean, even in the UFC, and he's fought okay guys. Um, so I hope Hydermel can win this one. I don't know if I can pick him because I can just see Gomis frustrating him from the outside and making him miss and landing the counters, landing those body kicks, stepping elbows. The guy has a lot of weapons. So I gotta go with William Gomis. I think he's gonna win this one. Probably on the scorecards. I don't really see him finishing Amil. He does have a nasty left high kick, and Amil does get hit. And he has a really good chin. I mean, Amil like puts pressure on him, throws like 20 combinations, 20 punch combinations, like he threw over the Korean Tiger. Maybe you can catch him eventually, break him. But I can just see Gomis just like mixing in the takedowns when he doesn't like the striking. But I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna go Gomis by decision here. As much as I want to see Emil win, I'm not really sure if it's gonna happen. So yeah, Gomis on the scorecards is gonna be the pick. Maybe 29-28. Could be even a split. I mean, it could be close fight. See what the odds are. Hyder Mill plus 180 and Gomis minus 210. Yeah, I gotta go with Gomis. As much as I don't like the guy, I don't like his fighting style. The guy's really good at what he does. And he's got really good kickboxing and he has grappling too. He can be taken on too. I mean, so Emil can probably take him down. The guy doesn't really get controlled on the mat as much. And he's tough, man. I mean, Brito was close to locking into submissions over this guy, and he wasn't really looking for a way out at all. So the guy's extremely tough. His only two losses were to Morgan Charrier and a fighter who's doing really well in KSW, Pernas. I think his name was. Let's see if I can find his name here. Yeah, that was like his first couple of fights. Saladin Pernas, who's actually a two-weight class champion, I think, in KSW. And so he's only lost to some of the best guys out there. If Hyder Mill goes out there, beats this guy, man, if he knocks out Gomis, that's going to be a statement. I mean, he should probably get someone ranked soon. I'm going to go Gomis on the scorecards. I honestly hope I'm wrong on this one. Yeah, what are the overs on this one? Under 2.5 rounds, minus plus 205. If Amil wins, I mean, he's probably going to go under 2.5 rounds. If Gomis wins, I think it's probably going to go over. I favor it going over. I think it's going to go over. Let's move on, guys. Next fight on the card is Austin Lane taking Mario Pinto. Man, Austin Lane, he finally got a win over Rebellions of Spain, who has no takedown defense whatsoever. I mean, I'm glad I didn't bet that fight. It was just a terrible fight. I know people lost money betting on the under there. People lost money betting on the Spain, parlaying to Spain. I'm sure those people that bet on Austin Lane and they made money on Austin Lane there. I'm just happy that I passed on that fight. This fight right here, man, Austin Lane's gonna have to get takedown. He's gonna have to hold this guy down. And I don't think he's gonna be able to hold this guy down. I think Pinto's takedown defense is pretty good, and I don't think he's gonna gas. He's gone 5 rounds before, and this is a really good debut for him. So Mario Pinto is gonna be able to hurt him on the feet. We've seen Tafa knock this guy out. I mean, this guy's we just seen other kickboxers knock him out. Denise knock him out. I mean, so the guy is really chinny, and he's gonna need takedowns. He's gonna need to control this guy and hold him down for 15 minutes. And haven't seen any submission game from Lane. Haven't really seen any ground and pound from Lane. So if he's not finishing this guy, taking him down early, finishing him early, I think he's gonna get really desperate for takedowns, and I think he's gonna get knocked out. So I gotta go with Pinto by KO TKO in the first round. I think it's gonna be later in the first round. So under 1.5 rounds is not a bad here. Or if fight doesn't start round 3, probably not a bad play here. Minus 370 for a guy making his UFC debut. Not sure if I want to parlay him, but I do see him winning this one. Under 2.5 rounds, under 1.5 rounds, minus 125. Fight doesn't go the distance, minus 400. I think that's a good parlay piece. Fight doesn't go the distance. I don't think he goes the distance. So we're gonna go with Mario Pinto by KO TKO. I'm pretty high on this guy. Yeah, we've seen him on Dana White 10 series, and he looked damn good on Dana White 10 series. Let's move on, guys. Next fight on the card is Nazareth Haqparast taking on Esteban Ribovics. Man, Esteban Ribovics doesn't lose fights when he's striking. I mean, he hasn't lost a fight. If you're just striking with this guy, he's not going to lose a fight. If you're trying to mix it up, you're trying to take this guy down, hold him down, then you can probably beat him. We've seen Rabadanov go out there and beat him by taking him down 6 times. And no one else has been able to do it. I mean, he hasn't really fought anyone that can grapple. And I don't think Nazareth's gonna be able to grapple him or take him down, hold him down. Nazareth's takedown accuracy 20%. I mean, not really good enough to hold this guy down. Nazareth is a high volume striker. He throws a ton of volume, but doesn't really have a lot of power. I mean, other than knocking out Jimmy Mularkey, who doesn't knock out Jimmy Mularkey? I mean, everyone knocks out Jimmy Mularkey. Can't really say that he has power because he knocked out Jimmy Mularkey or he knocked out Joaquim Silva, who's actually really chinny too. Not really a good fighter, in my opinion. Esteban Ribovics is going to be the much better striker here. He's going to be dangerous. He can throw high kicks. We've seen him knock out McKinney with a high kick. McKinney, I mean. And McKinney's like chinny, I mean, so it is what it is. Well, knocking out McKinney in the first minute when McKinney's dangerous is a pretty damn good luck, if you ask me. Ribovics, I'm going to go Ribovics here. The line is kind of crazy, though, minus 250 for Ribovics. But I think he's just going to put it on Nazareth. I think he's going to break him, so could be close. I mean, if this goes longer, if this goes the distance, maybe Nazareth can throw a ton of volume. But I do see Ribovics landing the better shots, and I do see him breaking Nazareth. Is he going to finish him, though? Like, Nazareth's only been finished one time, and it was by Dude Ober. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to finish him. Not really sure if he's going to finish him, I mean. But I am going to go Ribovics on the... I'm going to go Ribovics by maybe like a 3rd round TKO. We'll go 3rd round TKO for Ribovics. But Nazareth is pretty tough, so we'll see how this one goes. All right, guys, let's see what the odds are on this one. Nazareth is plus 210. He actually opened up at minus 210. Crazy. I mean, how much line movement there has been on this fight. Minus 260 for Ribovics. I gotta go Ribovics. I think it's the much better, more dangerous striker. I don't really trust Nazareth's ability to hold this guy down or take him down consistently enough. We just seen Nazareth, I mean, get outstruck by Jared Gordon. I know he won that fight on the scorecards, but if you go watch that fight, it should have been Jared Gordon winning it on the scorecards. Let's be honest. I gotta go with Ribovics. I actually think Ribovics is really good. Yeah, we're gonna go Ribovics by 3rd round TKO. And he actually had a really good fight, and UFC Noche. I mean, that fight literally saved the main card because every other fight on the main card was pretty terrible. UFC Noche just so they had fight of the night against Joe Huber, and bro, he was actually down on the scorecards, and yet came back and won that fight. The he's tough, man. He's not really gonna go anywhere. He's gonna be in his face, and I don't think Nazareth fights well when you're in his face and you're trying to pressure him. All right, guys. Next fight on the card is Cody Brundage taking on Julian Washed Marquez. I mean, who's gonna win this one? Why is this the co-main event? I mean, let me just complain for a minute. Why the hell is this the co-main? Brundage getting a co-main win against Julian Marquez. Probably someone's gonna get finished here. I mean, 100%. Someone is getting finished here. 10-6 for Brundage, and 9-5 for Julian Marquez. Man, this is definitely a tough one. I mean, Brundage is just a hard guy to trust with your money. I mean, like, can you even trust this guy with your money ever? I don't know if I can. But he has skills. I mean, he's got knockout power. He can strike okay when he's fresh. He's not really like, he doesn't have heart. Like, if things go sideways, he's just gonna look for the door. We've seen him multiple times now that he just looks for the door when things go sideways, and he can't really get you out of there early. But Brundage has power. He can knock you down. I mean, we've seen him knock down Vieira twice in the first round. Eventually, he gassed himself out early after the first round. Went for a gilly, got stopped by Vieira. Why would you ever pull a gilly in Vieira? And then we've seen against Dumas. He pulled a gilly like 5 times against Dumas. I mean, just a terrible look there. I mean, why would you do that against Dumas? Then against Malkoun, he was close to getting knocked out by Malkoun, getting ground and pounded. Then Malkoun is just stupid. I mean, hitting him in the back of the head with elbows. So he was I mean, it wasn't really his fault though, but it happens way too much to Brundage. I feel like it happens every fight almost for Brundage. But at least he's plus money here, so like maybe I might pick him here because he's underdog. Julian Marquez, I mean, he doesn't look good in a long time. I don't think he has a win in like 4 years. But what I'll say about Marquez is the guy's tough, man. He's not really a quitter like Brundage. But yeah, getting knocked out. He came back after injuries and against Jack Reese, and he got knocked out under like 30 seconds. I mean, not really a good look there. He couldn't really get his game going. I think Brundage can get him out of there early, so I'm gonna pick Brundage. I mean, not sure if I can get myself to bet on this fight. I don't know if I can, man. So maybe the parlay piece is under 2.5 ounce. Under fight doesn't start round 3 because I think someone's getting finished here. Or it could go like Alonzo Menifils versus Walker. I mean, it could be like one of those fights where these guys are like so tired after the first round they can't finish each other. But I feel like one of these guys is gonna get finished here. I mean, Brundage is a quitter, so if things go sideways, he's probably gonna quit. Whereas Marquez is probably gonna submit him later or knock him out later. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go Brundage as underdog. I don't really care about this fight. See what the odds are on this one. Brundage is plus 126. I gotta go Brundage at plus money. I don't think Marquez has it anymore. If you can extend this first, if you can like extend this fight, maybe he's gonna win. So probably a live betting spot on Marquez after the first round. All right, guys, the main win now. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, man. We're only like 6-7 subscribers away from hitting 3K. So like, if you guys do appreciate the content, I go live multiple times a week, and I do a breakdown for every UFC card. I post best bets for you guys every week. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you guys do want to see my bets, they're free in the link down below. There's no Patreon or anything like that, so not gonna cost you a penny. You guys can see my bets. I have bets on UFC 313, so they're in the link down below in the description. I mean, if you guys want to join my Twitter and follow me on Twitter, I post long shot parlays over there, props that I play for UFC every week. And you guys can also find my Twitter in the description. Also find my Discord. We have a really good Discord, man. We make money on NBA. We bet NBA I only bet NBA from time to time, but we got our Discord group's been cooking NBA bets. I mean, almost every single day. So make sure you guys check those out in the description. Let's break down this fight now. We got Manel Kape taking on Almabayev. Man, Almabayev's taking this fight on short notice. Manel Kape was supposed to fight Roy Wall. So that was probably going to be a title eliminator matchup there. So this is probably going to be a title eliminator now. So the winner of this fight is probably going to be fighting for the belt next. And Almabayev's a good wrestler. He trains over there out of the same team as Shavkat Rakhmonov. The guy has really good wrestling, and he's the only thing I'll criticize for Almabayev is that he's super low volume, doesn't really throw enough output, and for my liking, I mean, he doesn't really get hit all that much, to be fair. But the guy just doesn't throw enough volume. I mean, he throws 2 strikes per minute. He waits for his opportunities to land counters. He's only taking 1 strike per minute. I mean, that's not really that bad. His wrestling is okay. I mean, he does have 50% takedown accuracy, but the guys that he's been fighting aren't really all that good. I mean, Cesar Vergara is not really good. Jose Johnson's not really good. I mean, he was actually cutting down to from 135. Um, he was able to control him for a bit. Couldn't really get a submission or anything like that. He did have 3 submission attempts, but like he couldn't really finish those guys. I mean, so and Manol Cap has struggled with takedown defense. He can be taken down from time to time, but his get up game is pretty good. I like his get up game. He has 77% takedown defense. He actually took down Pantoja when they fought. He took Pantoja down twice, which is crazy. Pantoja went like 1-2 on takedowns, or like 0-2 on takedowns on Manol Cap. So yeah, Manol Cap's been fighting the better opponents in UFC. So and he's a much better striker. But the only thing I have to say about Manol Cap is like when he's worried about getting taken on, when you have the wrestling, when he's facing guys that can take him on, he doesn't really let his hands go, like take pictures out there, which could maybe cost him here. I feel like he's gonna be the much better striker. I mean, not that I feel like he's gonna be the much better striker. And he can throw high kicks. He's nasty. I mean, he can throw flying knees. He's actually got knockout power. He's one of the few guys at this weight class that has one punch knockout power. He can knock you out with flying knee. He can knock you out with like a lot of stuff. I mean, he can throw for like a flying knee, spinning back fist, elbow stepping elbows. The guy has a lot of weapons. Whereas Almabayev has that right hand where he's gonna be, and he's got takedown. So pretty much comes down to if Almabayev can take him down, ground him, control him, get a submission. If he can get takedowns, it's probably gonna be live for a submission. I mean, Manol Cap has pretty good submission defense, but even when he's getting taken on, doesn't really get controlled all that much. I was watching that Nicolau fight back, and honestly, like I actually scored that for Manol Cap. I don't know how Nicolau won that fight. Yeah, but he wasn't really letting his hands go, like I said earlier. So Manol Cap, even against Makayev, he did break his toe in that fight. He actually injured himself trying to land a kick on Makayev. But early on, like he wasn't really like he didn't throw a strike for like the first 4 minutes because he's too worried about getting taken on. That could maybe cost him here. I mean, Almabayev is a guy that has good wrestling and control. He can if he can get that body triangle in, man, it's really tough to get this guy off you. And he can break your fucking face in half if you can like get that body triangle, and he'll go for submission. He was able to almost break Ode Osborne's chin with that neck face crank. I think it was a face crank. This is 5 rounds, so I don't know what kind of cardio Almabayev is gonna have for 5 rounds. Almabayev is not a bad underdog here. Like if he can get takedowns, it's probably gonna make him work. Maybe get him really tired. Manol Cap's training over there, Extreme Couture. Those guys have really good takedown defense, so I don't know if he's gonna be able to get takedowns on Manol Cap. He couldn't really get takedowns on Nicolau. Like he got him, he got Nicolau down like once, and Nicolau was right back up. Nicolau has like 90% takedown defense, so that's not really a bad look, I guess. Even like one for 9 on takedowns over Nicolau. Nicolau was like super chin. He eventually dropped Nicolau in the 3rd round. He was able to control him then, but like couldn't really get his takedowns going. But Nicolau's chinny, man, so I don't think Manol Cap's chinny. Manol Cap has never been dropped in UFC. He's only been knocked out by that Ryzen guy. I mean, what's the guy's name? Asakura, Kai Asakura, and he knocked him out in the rematch. So that's the only time I've seen Manol Cap knocked out. Was he knocked out? I think he was knocked out, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Never mind. He wasn't knocked out. Okay, it was a split. Never mind. He wasn't knocked out. He's only been sub. He only got subbed by Koji Horiguchi, who's actually really good. One of the best flyweights out there. That's not in the UFC anymore, because he was in the UFC at one point. He was 7-1 UFC. I mean, so getting subbed by Horiguchi is never a bad look. And that was Horiguchi in his prime too. Horiguchi still looks really good out there. This fight pretty much comes down to if Manol Cap is gonna just freeze out there when is he gonna be too worried about takedowns, or is he really gonna let his hands go? Because if this guy lets his hands go, man, he's definitely one of the best strikers at this weight class, and he's gonna be throwing much more volume. I mean, the guy throws 5 strikes per minute. And he threw like 30 strikes. I mean, in one round against who was there against Nicolau, I think, in the second round. And Almabayev threw like 2 strikes in that first round, and then Nicolau, and he threw like 6 in the second round. He's too patient, man. Almabayev's like too patient. Can he take down Manol Cap? Can he wrestle? Can he chain wrestle? I mean, there's definitely a possibility he can chain wrestle. I really want to pick the underdog in Almabayev, but I don't know if he's going to win this one, man. This is going to be, I don't know what kind of cardio this guy has for 5 rounds. We've never seen this guy fight for 5 rounds before, so I don't know. Too many questions to Nick on Almabayev. He does have really good wrestling though, 50% takedown accuracy, but over who? I mean, I gotta go Manel Cap. I think Manel Cap's gonna win 5 rounds. I mean, if he doesn't get subbed early, I don't know if Almabayev's gonna be hold. I don't think he's gonna be able to hold him down. Even when guys are taking Manel Cap down, he's not really getting controlled for extended periods of time. I've never seen him get controlled for more than 2 minutes in a fight, even when he's giving up takedowns. Almabayev's gonna have to get that body triangle in, and then that's the only way he's gonna be able to win rounds. I feel like, or he's gonna have to knock him down. He's gonna have to find one of those uppercuts down the middle and knock him down. I don't know if I see that happening. I gotta go Manel Cap here by decision. I think. I don't know if I don't think he's gonna knock him out. I do think Almabayev is gonna make this pretty competitive. I'm gonna go Manel Cap by decision. So that's gonna be the pick, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let me know if you guys agree or disagree with my predictions on this card. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy, guys. And I'm probably gonna make a best video later this week, and I'm probably gonna go live in the next few days. So I'll see you guys in the live stream. And we're close to hitting 3K. So make sure you guys tell your uncles and aunts and your brothers and sisters to subscribe. See you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy, guys. Later.